Good evening, Daf Peh Zayin Amud Aleph, second white line. Mishnah. A person who attacks a person is more chamor than a person who attacks an ox, than a person who gets injured by an ox. The person pays additionally for damage, pain, healing, unemployment, and humiliation. He also pays for if a fetus was aborted via miscarried because of the injury. V'shor, but an ox person, only pays his damage. Patur and is patur from a fetus. Continuation. Someone hits his parents. Without a wound. Or someone who injures his friend on Yom Kippur. Chayav and everything. All five. If someone hit a Jewish slave. Chayav and everything. Except for unemployment when it's his own slave, because technically he's losing his own employment. Someone who wounds a Eved Kinani of someone else, have and everything. Havadim does not have humiliation because they are quite embarrassed already. Their contact is bad. The whoever attacks them is chayav. Between whoever gets attacked by them is patur. Regarding an Eved and a Jewish woman, also their contact is bad because someone who hits them is chayav. But if they hit someone else, they are patur. However, they must pay afterward, which is if she gets divorced, or if the Eved gets freed, then their payment is due. Most when it's his parents, and he does do a wound. Someone injures someone in Shabbat, and everything, because it's already chayav mita. You pay with the more chamor punishment. And the Mishnah about Eved Kinani Shelo, whoever hits his own Eved Kinani, patur from everything. Okay. Rav asked the question: someone injured the daughter who's a minor of his friend. Who gets the payment? Do we say do we say since the Torah gave the girl, a young girl is able to be married off by the father? So since the marriage payments go to the father when she's young, maybe the injury payments also go to her. Why? Because the guy who attacked her now lowered her value as a marriageable person. Well, maybe not. Maybe you might say that since only for money the father gets it, because now that gives him the power to marry her off to whoever he wants. Meaning, it's not only about the money, it's about the power of who he can marry her off to, which means he can give it over to anybody, even a guy who's covered in boils, even a niche type of person. But regarding to injury payments, given the technically, if he wants to wound her, he can't wound her. Therefore, he can't accept the payment. So that concept is marriage, yes, because he's able to marry her off to whoever he wants. Therefore, he is all-encompassing in regarding to marriage payments. However, wounding, he shouldn't receive the wound payment to her because he can't wound her herself. Right? So it's like a bit of a technicality. Okay, so what's the answer? According to Rav, the Torah only allowed for marriage, but not damages. Damages have to go to her. Answer that, right? Question from right. Mishnah, sorry. If someone injures a Eved Ivri, Jewish servant, Hayav in all five categories of payment, except for unemployment because the slave is his. So we see from here that since the Eved doesn't work for you anymore, since the Eved is not working for you because of someone else's damage, so to also, so the guy is paying the master because he injured that guy, the master's Eved Ivri. So the guy's paying the unemployment to the master because he's losing the Eved. So to buy a kitana as well, maybe the father should receive the unemployment payment as well, or the damages. It's true. Regarding unemployment, the father can get the payment. Because the unemployment, the The difference is that regarding to wages, the difference is because wages by a girl who's not bat mitzvah yet goes to the parents anyhow. So regarding unemployment, the father would get. That's directly correlated. Another question. If someone injures his adult son, he has to pay his son right away. They know Kazan regarding his minor son, he has to establish like a trust fund for him. Someone injured his daughter. Patur. Reload, not on that. Even someone else hit her. The payment has to go to the father. So we see the father does receive the daughter's payment. The Gemara says, how can I be sure is referring to not a question, because that's referring to unemployment, but not the actual injury payments. Okay. If someone injures his adult son, he has to pay him right away. Someone injures someone else's kids. If it's an adult, you give them right away. Minors, you give them a trust fund until they get over there. But if it's his own kids, you're patur. So it doesn't make a difference whether or not it's a minor or adult. You're patur for hitting your own kids, injuring your own kids. Moran says, "Amri la kasha not astira." Kan kishezemuchim al shachana. And when are you patur? Is when they are still dependent on their father's table, meaning they're still relying on him for panasa or feeding them. Kan mishen but if the kid's already out of the house and not relying on the father, then you're chayav to pay them. To the Makaita, what case have you established the first part of the Brata? Right? So the first time we said that you're chayav, so when they're not with the father. If that's the case, then the second part of the Brata, which says, patur. Someone injures his minor daughter's patur, but not only that, the people, whoever else hits his daughter has to be giving it to her father. Technically, he has to give it to her because the ba'im is zone, because she needs food. Right? So if you're established in that bright time, that bright time referring to when the kids don't eat by the father anymore, they're relying on their own money. If that's the case, then why are we giving it to her father? She needs the money. If she's been employed and the father was making her support herself, then she's not eating by her father anymore, then you shouldn't be paying the father. She should need it. Not only that, even according to the opinion who holds the machlok whether the master can say this, but say that according to the opinion holds that the master can tell his slave, I say work for me, and I'm not going to support you. Good luck. That only works for Eved Kanani, because the master could tell him, you work for me during the day. At nighttime, go and try to eat, go beg, and etc. Go make yourself at home at your own place and go try to feed yourself. Regarding Jewish slave, the regarding the pasuk says you shall be good for him with you, which means which means you have to serve him whatever you're having or better. Lo, the master can't say that. Kosher can be told. So if you can't tell us the Eved, you can't tell your minor daughter, good luck. I'm not supporting you. Where it says the when is the father saying when is the father saying you're on your own is regarding when the daughter is making above the minimum requirement for herself. So it's a surplus. Regarding a minor, regarding the minor, it says $20,000 she's getting paid. She needs $15,000 for herself, so she gets the money that she needs for herself, and the extra goes to the father. Okay, I'm not going to divide that. Now let's establish the second brighta, right? The second brighta that is referring to the case where you patur if you hate your own kids because it's a mechin shal shana because they are still relying on your table. Good thing the Mishnah brighta says, if they're adults, you shall pay them right away. If other people hate your kids, that they're minors, they have to establish a trust. But am I? By the mitzvah. If they're eaten by their father, the father should get it. When it says, when does the father care for the unemployment? When he's losing something. So what does that mean? If the father hit his own kid, he has to pay the kid. If the kid's eating by him, then the father says, I'm not paying my kid the money that he'd be receiving from me anyhow. They eat in my house. That's a loss. However, if it's a third party paying the kid that got injured, the father will forego it and let the kid get it. But regarding to a lost object that the kid found, that's coming from a third party, the kakapit, and the father wants it. Right? The Brett says that a father can keep it. So how come unemployment, the father can keep it? profit coming from the outside, and they had no physical pain acquiring it, papid, then the father wants it. Yani the lost item. Regarding damage, an injury, the whether he knows that his son, child, suffered pain, and it's coming from a third party payment, well, kapid and let his kid have it. Regarding a minor child, she has physical pain, and profits coming from a third party. And we see a father keeps it. We see other people who wounded her gives the payment to the father. So how does that make sense? The Gemara says, over there is referring to a stingy person. Because even though they're not eating by his table, even that comes from a third party, he wants it. But in regard to the second brayta, it's referring to a better father who does not care. Because they're eating on his table, and therefore when the only time he'll take he'll take the profits is when he has to pay out, therefore we don't charge him. But if third party is paying the kid, then he'll let them have it. Whereas my sigla, what do you mean a trust fund? Means you buy a Sefer Torah with it, and then the young child can study from it. Tikla, palm tree, the kid can eat dates for years to come. Earlier we said the Torah only allowed the father to collect the money for marriage, but not injuries. Even payment for wounds. Does it mean that he gets paid for the actual wound, like pain, even if there's no inherent loss of value to her through marriage? Let's say it's under her shoulder, no behind her shoulder. No one's seeing that. Not gonna damage her reputation or for marriage. Elazar who holds look in regarding to a serious injury, the which lowers the value. Well, a wound that doesn't lower value, it's gonna heal. Loki he doesn't care. Where it says, so they explain it again. It's referring to the case where he wounded her in her face and lowered the value, right? As a slum member and the other guys down here who are outside as well, you'll always attest. I actually had one today. Called today a girl with a cut on her face. You have to be much more careful and make sure they get taken care of with a plastic surgeon. You can't make them just get stitches anywhere. So damage to the face, a wound to the face will lower value, even though it's just a wound. Okay, next part of the Mishnah said, someone wounded an Eved Knani of your friend, you're chayav all payments. Rabbi said, no payment for humiliation. Why did Rabbi say you're patur from humiliation? Each of the achiv. If two men are fighting, a man and his brother. Right? What do you mean, brother? Only time you have potential for brotherhood is with another Jew. It's an Eved in law, but humiliation is not applied to an Eved Knani who is not in the brotherhood of Jews. Only referring to mitzvot, and an Eved Knani does have some chiyuvim in mitzvot. According to the Rebbe technically, the judges should not be able to kill zomem witnesses who testified against a slave. Pasuk says, you shall do to him like he tried to do to his brother. And if you're saying that a slave is not considered a brother, then witnesses who tried to get a slave killed should not be considered not be killed if they get zomem done it, right? Zomem witnesses, we always said, get done to them what they want to do to someone else. So we're saying if you did it against an Eved, and over here we're trying to prove that the Pasuk says that you try to conspire to do it against your brother, and if you're telling me that they're not considered brothers, then Edim should not get killed for testifying against a slave. The end of the pasuk teaches you that you shall destroy the evil from your midst. Yani, try to get at the witnesses at any point, in all circumstances, even if they testified against a slave, and not necessarily a Eved. Okay, not necessarily a Jew, even an Eved. Now, according to the Lebanon, who say that they are considered our brothers because they have some mitzvot. Eved yeh kasher machut. Eved should be kosher for kingdom. Right, if he's considered a brother, and the pasuk says, "Mikra achicha, you can become king." So how come they can't become king if they're considered a brother? Amrei l'tamech tishlach ger l'divrei hakol. That's the case. Then a ger should be a problem for everything because the pasuk says, in regarding to a ger. So regarding a ger, sorry, in regarding to a ger, then if he's a ger that's converted, he should be included to everything because he's considered your brother because he's able to do mitzvot. So therefore, we have to re-explain the pasuk. The pasuk says regarding kingdom, regarding a convert son, etc., has to be in the middle of your brother, in the midst of your brothers, which teaches you the elite, chosen ones of your brothers, which means full-fledged Jews, not as children of converts, and not a slave as well.